What's up? What's up? What's happening? It's yours truly, Javon Freeman, back with another one. We'll start this off by saying add the Instagram at b.o.m.experience. Give me a like, comment, share, subscribe. Even give me a dislike. Once again, thank you to all my subscribers, the 8 of you that are rocking with me. The guns appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is the work that it takes. Let me know how y'all feel about this green light. I mean, I got a couple colors here. I got light blue. This one's dark blue. It seems purpley out. Well, on my screen at least. What's this? A violet. Me and old girl, we like the violet. Red, of course. Red light special. Not on camera. No. Yellow. Champagne-esque. And then money green. I'm feeling money green, but y'all let me know. And then there's also violet, bright white, But I'm feeling money green. Anyway, Europe supposedly got a wake-up call from the United States. And this is with Laura Ingraham. I'm thinking, depending on how long this goes, I might do a video from the other side of the political spectrum. Maybe from MSNBC, maybe CNN. We'll see what they're saying. But let's see what Fox has to say.
Europe's wake-up call. That's the focus of tonight's angle. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
Whoa, hold on.
I'm looking at people that are being killed. And
my bad. It was playing on a whole nother situation. All right, it should be good now.
I'm looking at people that are being killed. And they're Russian and Ukrainian people, but they're people. Doesn't matter where they're from on the whole planet. And I think I have the power to end this war.
And living up to his promise, President Trump sent his diplomatic team to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, to meet with a Russian delegation.
Today is the first step of a long and difficult journey, but an important one. And President Trump is committed to bringing an end to this conflict. He wants it to end in a way that's fair. He wants it to end in a way that's sustainable and enduring.
There's Rubio. Look like Marco Rubio. I'm gonna be honest, this guy right here to Rubio, to what would be Rubio's left, my right, our right. Don't he look like the guy that played Harvey Dent, Two-Face? He looks like him just a little bit. What's that actor's name? Oh well.
Not that leads to another conflict in 2 to 3 years.
Now, ending this bloodshed, the killing, in a war that had reached a stalemate long ago, that certainly sounds reasonable. And we know it's what Americans want. It's part of the reason they voted for Trump. But from the cheerleaders of endless wars, the response was predictable.
As a series of Trump administration officials essentially trying to bully Ukraine into giving up lots of its natural resources.
Ukrainians are very nervous. They are potentially being set up to be carved up between Presidents Trump and President Putin.
By the way, this is why we need Elbridge Colby in there at the Pentagon to bolster the America First MAGA agenda. I understand there's some people in the Senate who might be giving him a hard time. He's fantastic and totally on board with what Trump wants to do in Ukraine, vis-a-vis China, and all around the world. But everyone's still holding on to this war. They've lost touch with reality. Some, by the way, were literally reduced to tears after Vance delivered his blunt message.
After the speech of Vice President Vance on Friday, we have to fear that our common value base is not that common anymore. Let me conclude, and this becomes difficult.
What? Man. You mean to tell me your grown ass is crying? And they clapping for you? That whole situation is just wrong. Wrong. All wrong. I don't like none of that. Ugh.
Only the Europeans would clap for tears. All right, the globalist chorus was horrified that an American vice president actually traveled to Europe and represented American interests.
lecturing them about democracy at a time when there are so many questions about democratic values being observed and upheld in the United States, it seemed particularly inappropriate.
Totally appropriate. The American people do not have a permanent obligation to protect Europe no matter what. As though Europe's some beloved elderly relative and it's our job to pay for the cost of the nursing home. It's absurd.
Listen, this is the only reason why these nations keep fawning on the U.S. is because there are certain groups of people that come from the Eastern Hemisphere. I ain't gonna say who, we could, whoever them boys is. Anyway, they figured out their way to get into governments, monopolize systems, and control things, brainwash people. I mean, it's people. The average person does not truly know just how ugly the world can really become, and it takes for somebody to see somebody die or to have their life put on the line to truly understand how ugly the world can be. And then they think, oh, because it's so nice in America, it can't be that bad. No, America is just, the Western Hemisphere is just way better than the rest of the world. And I say that humbly. I'm not saying it to be arrogant, but I'm saying it because people don't understand how good we got it. Anyway, there's a reason why they're letting you know globalists horrified over America first. Yeah. Shit. Throughout all of human history, ain't nobody in the Western Hemisphere was Team Earth. Maybe when it was Pangea or whatnot, but we got oceans between us. We ain't the same. They not like us. Like, come on now. Anyway, let's get back to Miss Ingram.
Now, let's just understand what we're talking about. The European Union has a population of around 450 million people. We're about 350. Its GDP is around 17 trillion euros. Last year, the EU's trade surplus in goods with the U.S. was a staggering $235 billion. And you might not know this, but EU companies own $2.4 trillion worth of assets in this country.
They need to be paying us.
And as the UK learned when it tried to leave the EU, the Europeans can play hardball in negotiations when they want to. So the notion that they're unable to defend themselves in a dangerous world, or that they're helpless without the support of the United States, it is ridiculous. And there's another point, one that Vice President Vance made very well. The Europeans, for the most part, do not share our values. Americans overwhelmingly, well, we believe in free speech.
Yep.
Not the Europeans.
You know what? So many people don't get this. Just because in America we can operate a certain way, try taking that shit to somewhere else. I know they about to show a clip of something else because it was a quick transition. But you can't go to China and talk shit about Xi Jinping. Go to North Korea and try popping your gums off at Kim Jong-un. You think Russia's sweet? Please. Listen. We got it good in America. And just because we operate a certain way in America, man, okay, all you women out here that's saying I'm grown, I'm bad, and I could do good all by myself, try popping that off in one of them Arab countries. Good luck. Good luck. Man, please. You got it good in America, real good.
Police says they raided this apartment in northwest Germany. Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online. At the exact same time across Germany.
Shoot, people, it kills me. Other countries don't have our constitution. They try to, but they're not like us. And don't think for a second, oh yeah, George Washington, all these guys thought of all these laws from scratch. No. They got it from the Copper Colored Party. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But these were practices that were long put into place before colonization that is still operating today. You wonder why a lot of these states are still native tongue, Connecticut. It's close, and if you really understand languages, they're almost very online to your Semitic languages, Connecticut, right? It's if man, now I think about it, it is a fact too that the indigenous people of the Americas were already speaking dialects of Arabic or Sanskrit, or is it Sanskrit or Semitic dialects of Semitic languages. So I like, man, please take pop your gums off all you want. You can't get off like that in other nations.
50 similar raids played out.
Now, Europeans believe that governments should be able to restrain speech. Despicable speech is the type you have to protect if you believe in free speech, but speech that they consider harmful. We're going to dive more into this later on in the show. And Americans, by the way, overwhelmingly believe that voters should have a major say in policymaking, but the Europeans are comfortable with systems that exclude certain parties from the policymaking process, no matter how many votes they get. Americans believe in the right to bear arms, that it's sacrosanct, in fact.
I believe it. Let me get, just give me a little bit of time. I'm gonna have my CCLs, but I've already been keeping them up. Get it from my daddy.
Not Europeans. And we worry about the economic risks of terrible climate policies. But the Europeans, well, they'll embrace those policies even if it drives them into economic ruin. We have major interests in Asia and are extremely worried, we Americans, about the rise of China. Europeans, they're not worried. They overwhelmingly disapprove of President Trump and his stance vis-a-vis China. But Americans, we're giving him all-time record-high approval ratings. Now, none of this means that we should completely ignore Europe or that we're destined to have serious conflicts with the Europeans. No, not at all. Our differences, by the way, are not new. The Europeans haven't liked any Republican, I don't think, since Eisenhower. Remember the wave of no nukes, anti-Reagan protests in Germany in the 80s? I do. But of course, the Europeans gave Barack Obama the Nobel Peace Prize, mainly because he wasn't President George W. Bush. And of course, that's their right. But we won our independence from a European country almost 250 years ago, and we're not going to give it up anytime soon. So here's how this is going to go down. We're going to fix things here at home. As part of that effort, we're going to be cutting expenditures in Europe, and that's okay. We're going to have to cut a lot of federal spending to begin turning things around. And the Europeans will be fine. They've defended themselves for thousands of years, and they haven't forgotten how. And sometimes we'll agree with Europe. Sometimes we won't, and that's okay too. For 30 years, a lot of people in D.C. pretended that there was such a thing as an international world order, that we're all part of it, living in harmony together. But they were wrong. The world is now and always has been.
He G'd up. That man said, "Look at me, I'm pulling up to the function, gunshot wound and all." And I didn't even react to it. That man put up this mugshot in the White House. Is he the first president to put up his own mugshot in the White House? Bro. First president to have an assassination attempt on his life on television. Survive it. And then put a mugshot of himself in the White House.
A dangerous place where people who want to be free must have the willingness and the ability to defend that freedom. And finally, we have a president now who understands that reality, yay, and who's going to look out for our interests. That makes Europe very nervous. Instead, we used to have a president who just does what everyone else wanted. But Europe will get used to this new world order, and we'll all be better off as a result. And that's the angle.
I like that. Yeah, no, I agree. These countries need to start doing their own. And if we're going to do business with them, we're going to do good business, meaning pay up your fair share. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Give me a like, give me a dislike, hit the notification bell, and certainly subscribe. And please share this with your loved ones. Let's keep the conversation going, because the only way we're going to make true movement forward is by speaking with each other. Ciao.